I told my son to forgive his cheating wife, he took his daughter, and walked out that night. He never came back. And now I know why. I need to write this down. Maybe it'll help me understand where everything went wrong. My wife and I raised 2 sons. Did everything right, or so we thought. Built a good life. Stable. Respectable. The kind of family people look up to in our community. Armin was our eldest. 32. The disciplined one. Analytical. Quiet, but not in a weak way, in that way where you know he's always thinking 3 steps ahead. Married his college girlfriend when 8 years ago. They had a daughter, Zia. 6 years old. Smart kid. Looked just like her dad. Ferris was 28. Our younger son. Complete opposite. Charming, impulsive, always needed us to bail him out of something. But that's what family does, right? You help each other. 3 years ago, on a Tuesday night around 10 p.m., Armin showed up at our door. His face was blank. Not angry. Not sad. Just empty. "Can you watch Zia for an hour?" he asked. My wife immediately went into mom mode. "Of course, honey. Is everything okay?" He didn't answer. Just brought Zia inside, kissed her forehead, and left. We looked at each other. Something was off. Armin didn't do spontaneous. He planned everything. This wasn't normal. An hour later, he came back. Walked straight to the living room. Sat down across from us. "Wynn and Ferris," he said. Voice completely flat. Mechanical. 6 months. In our home. I felt my stomach drop. My wife gasped. Started crying immediately. "Oh God. Armin, no. Are you sure? Maybe you misunderstood. I'm sure." The way he said it. No emotion. Like he was reading a grocery list. Ferris. His own brother. For 6 months. My wife tried to hug him. He just sat there, rigid. Didn't pull away, didn't lean in. Just accepted it like a stranger. I should have been furious at Ferris. I should have been asking Armin what he needed. But all I could think was, this can't get out. This can't destroy our family. "Armin," I said, keeping my voice calm. Authoritative. "I know this hurts. I know you're angry. But you need to think clearly here." He looked at me. Still nothing in his eyes. "This is what marriage is," I continued. "Working through the hard parts. People make mistakes. Terrible mistakes. But you don't throw away 8 years over one mistake." "One mistake," he repeated. Still flat. "Think of Zia," my wife added, wiping her tears. "She needs both her parents. You're stronger than this. You can move past it." I leaned forward. "Be a man, Armin. Forgive them. This is what being an adult means. Being the bigger person. Think of the family name. Think of what this would do to all of us if it got out." He stared at us for a long moment. Said nothing. Just stood up. Walked to Zia's temporary bed we'd set up. Kissed her forehead while she slept. Picked her up carefully so she wouldn't wake. "Armin, wait," my wife started. He walked past us. Grabbed the bag he'd brought. Opened the front door. "Where are you going?" I demanded. "We're not done talking about this." He looked back at us. Just once. Those empty eyes. Then he walked out. Put Zia in her car seat. Drove away. My wife called Wynn immediately. She was hysterical, asking where Armin went, begging us to make him come back. We tried his phone. Disconnected. "He just needs time to cool down," I told my wife. "He'll be back in a few days. He's too smart to throw his life away over this." She nodded, wanting to believe it. We told ourselves he'd come home. That he'd see reason. That our advice would sink in and he'd do the right thing. We didn't know then that silence isn't defeat. Sometimes, it's the first move. 3 months passed. Nothing. Armin's phone stayed disconnected. His social media accounts, deleted. We called his work. They said he'd resigned effective immediately, no forwarding information, no forwarding address. It was like he'd vanished. Ferris came to us 2 weeks after that night. Broke down crying. Said he didn't know what came over him, that he'd ruined everything, that he needed to apologize to his brother. "Where is he?" Ferris kept asking. "I need to make this right." We didn't know. We told him Armin would come around eventually. Wynn stayed with us for a while. Devastated. Kept saying it was a mistake, that she loved Armin, that she wanted him back. Started divorce proceedings when he wouldn't respond to anything, but even the lawyer couldn't find him to serve papers. My wife and I convinced ourselves we'd done the right thing. He's just being stubborn, she'd say. Too proud to admit he needs us. He'll realize family is more important than ego, I agreed. Ferris went back to running his import/export business, luxury textiles, specialty goods from overseas. Doing well enough. Wynn had her boutique consultancy thing, advising small businesses on branding or whatever. Life moved forward. Without Armin. 6 months after he left, Ferris mentioned something at Sunday dinner. Lost a big client today, he said, picking at his food. No explanation. Just terminated the contract. That's business, I told him. You'll get another one. 2 weeks later, another client left. Then another. Probably the economy, Ferris said, but I could hear the worry in his voice. Around the same time, Wynn started having problems too. Someone posted a review online about her business. Detailed. Specific. Claiming she'd overcharged clients, misrepresented her qualifications, delivered subpar work. It's not true, she insisted, showing us her laptop. I mean, some of it happened, but it was years ago. Minor stuff. How would anyone even know about that? More reviews appeared. Different accounts. All eerily detailed. All true enough that she couldn't refute them. Her client list started shrinking. Ferris's shipments began getting held up at customs. Compliance issues, they said. Things that had never been problems before suddenly required additional inspections, additional fees, additional paperwork. Bad luck, we kept saying. It'll turn around. We helped Ferris with some of the legal fees. Family helps family. My wife would sometimes mention Armin. Do you think he knows we're trying to find him? Do you think he's okay? He's fine, I'd say. Probably just needed space. He'll reach out when he's ready. I didn't tell her I'd hired a private investigator. Spent $2,000 before the guy came back with nothing. It's like he doesn't exist, the pie said. 1 year after Armin left, everything escalated. Ferris got served with a lawsuit. Former business partner claiming breach of contract. The documents were extensive, pages and pages of violations, missed deadlines, misrepresented goods. I don't remember half of this, Ferris said, pale, sitting in our living room. Some of it's real, but it's exaggerated. And some of this, I swear I never agreed to these terms. The legal fees were crushing him. He couldn't afford a good defense. The partner had serious backing, some investment firm funding the whole thing. I was looking through the legal paperwork with him one night, trying to make sense of it, when I saw something in the fine print. Third-party consultant listed on one of the acquisition documents. Xavian Holdings, LLC. What's that? I asked, pointing. Ferris squinted. No idea. Some company that bought out part of Chen's contracts, I think. Why? Just wondering. I wrote the name down. That night, I couldn't sleep. Xavian. The name felt familiar somehow, but I couldn't place it. My wife found me at 2 a.m., sitting at the kitchen table with my laptop, searching. What are you doing? She asked. Nothing, I said. Just looking into something. But I couldn't find anything. Shell company. No public information. No faces attached to it. Just a name. Xavian Holdings. It meant nothing to us. Not yet. 18 months after Armin disappeared, Ferris lost everything. The lawsuit destroyed him. His former partner had unlimited resources, attorneys who buried him in motions and depositions. Ferris couldn't keep up. Couldn't afford the defense he needed. He lost in court. Had to liquidate the entire business to pay the judgment. Filed for bankruptcy 2 weeks later. Moved back into his old bedroom in our house. 30 years old, broken, drinking too much. I deserve this, he'd say some nights. I know I do. Wynn had already left town by then. More documents kept surfacing online, not fake stories this time, but real mistakes she'd made. Client communications she'd thought were private. Contract disputes she'd settled quietly. Performance reviews from jobs years ago. Nothing illegal. Just damaging. Unprofessional. The kind of stuff that ruins a reputation when it all comes out at once. Someone was drip-feeding her past to the internet. Methodically. Precisely. She couldn't get work. Couldn't rebuild. Last we heard, she'd moved to another state, using her maiden name. My wife tried to stay positive. It's just a rough patch. Things will get better. But they didn't. My business started having problems too. Small things at first. A permit renewal delayed by the city, something that usually took 2 weeks stretched to 3 months. An inspection flagged issues that had never mattered in 20 years of operation. Nothing major. Just constant friction. Death by 1,000 cuts. The costs kept adding up. My wife became obsessed with finding Armin. Spent hours online, searching for any trace. She'd call old friends, former colleagues, anyone who might know something. I keep seeing that name, she told me one evening. Xavian Holdings. It's connected to Ferris's lawsuit. It's mentioned in some of Wynn's client disputes. And I found it in the permit delays for your business. It's everywhere. I'd been noticing the same thing. I hired a forensic accountant. Cost us $3,000 we couldn't afford. Told him to trace Xavian Holdings. He came back 2 weeks later with a report. Shell company, he said. Multiple layers of legal entities. Very sophisticated setup. Owns pieces of 23 different businesses across various industries. Started small about 2 years ago, grew strategically. Who owns it? Can't tell. Everything's buried under LLC protections. Registered agent is listed, but it's just another corporate entity. Whoever set this up knew what they were doing. 2 years ago. Right when Armin left. I went back through the registration documents myself that night. Business licenses. Corporate filings. Pages of legal language. Then I saw it. Xavian Holdings, LLC. Registered agent, Xavian Corporate Services. Xavian. I dropped the papers. That was the name I'd given Armin as a middle name. After my grandfather. Armin Xavian. We never used it. Just put it on the birth certificate because family tradition mattered to me back then. No, I said out loud. It can't be. But the timing. The sophistication. The precision of every attack. I showed my wife the registration date. Look at this. 2 years ago. Right after he left. She stared at the document. You think it's him? I don't know. How could he? He was a mid-level analyst. He didn't have this kind of money. This kind of knowledge. I tried calling the registered agent number. Got a professional voicemail. Left 3 messages. No callback. Tried emailing the corporate contact. Auto response only. No human ever replied. Every attempt to reach Xavian hit a wall. Weeks passed. My business failed a crucial health inspection, for violations I'm certain weren't there during the actual visit. Had to shut down. Couldn't fight it. Couldn't afford the legal fees. We were living on savings now. Selling assets. Ferris barely left his room. One night, I found my wife sitting in the dark, staring at her phone. What is it? I asked. She looked up at me. Her face was pale. He's had 2 years, she whispered. Armin. He's had 2 full years. If this is him, what has he been doing? I didn't answer. Because I was starting to understand. And it terrified me. 2 years later, we finally understood what he'd built. Ferris worked at a warehouse now. Loading trucks. Minimum wage. He'd come home smelling like sweat and cardboard, drink until he passed out. Sometimes he'd cry. Most nights he just stared at the wall. Wynn's whereabouts were unknown. Someone said they saw her working retail 3 states over, using a different name. My wife's health deteriorated. Stress. The doctor said it was affecting her heart. We'd sold the house, couldn't make the mortgage payments after I lost the business. Moved into a 2-bedroom apartment. Our savings were nearly gone. I became obsessed. Hired another forensic accountant. Spent money we absolutely didn't have. But I needed to know. He came back with a full report 3 weeks later. Xavian Holdings owns 23 different companies, he said, spreading documents across our kitchen table. Started with one small acquisition 2 years ago. A supplier for textile imports. Then a logistics company. Then a business consultancy. What does that mean? It means whoever runs this positioned themselves to control key points in multiple industries. Every acquisition gave them leverage over someone else's business. It's like building a web. Very strategic. I looked through the list. One of the companies supplied materials to Ferris's old business. Another handled permits for commercial operations in our city. Another owned debt portfolios, including, I discovered, my mortgage. How much would this cost? I asked. To build all this? Initial investment? Maybe $200,000 to start. But they'd need knowledge. Connections. Time. $200,000. Armin's severance package and savings combined would have been around that. Can you trace ownership? He shook his head. Whoever set this up used every legal protection available. LLCs within LLCs. Registered in states with maximum privacy laws. Without a subpoena, there's no way to get the actual owner's name. After he left, I spread everything out. Started making a timeline. Armin left 3 years ago. Xavian Holdings registered 2 weeks after he left. First acquisition 6 months later. Ferris's clients started leaving 6 months after that. Wynn's document surfaced 8 months in. The lawsuit against Ferris filed 1 year in. My business problems started 18 months in. Every single disaster traced back to Xavian. Not directly. Nothing obvious. Just market forces, business competition, legal pressure through legitimate channels. Ferris came into the kitchen while I was working. Looked at the papers spread across the table. "What are you doing?" he asked. "Proving something." He picked up one of the documents. "Read it." His hands started shaking. "This company," he said, pointing. "They bought out my supplier's contract. That's when everything started falling apart. I couldn't get materials anymore. Had to use more expensive alternatives. Lost my competitive edge." He grabbed another paper. "And this one, they acquired the firm that sued me. Right before the lawsuit was filed." I watched him connect the dots. Watched his face change. "Every single thing that went wrong," he said slowly. "Every client I lost. Every shipment delayed. Every legal problem. It all connects to Xavian." He looked at me. "It's him. Isn't it? It's Armin." I nodded. Ferris sat down hard. He didn't just leave. He spent 2 years building something we couldn't see. Something we couldn't fight. And we never even knew we were being destroyed until it was done. My wife came in from the bedroom. "What's going on?" I showed her the timeline. The connections. The pattern. She read through it all. When she looked up, there were tears in her eyes. "We told him to be a man," she said. "We told him to accept it. And he did exactly what we raised him to do. He solved his own problems." "This isn't solving," I said. "This is principle," Ferris interrupted. "He's proving a point. We chose me over him. You chose the family reputation over his pain. So he chose himself." My wife's phone rang. We all jumped. She answered. Listened. Her eyes went wide. "When?" she asked. "Are you sure it was him?" She hung up. Looked at us. That was Ferris's friend. He saw someone. Armin. In town. At the business district downtown. My heart stopped. "When?" I demanded. "Right now. He's there right now." She grabbed her purse. "And he is Zia with him." We got there in 15 minutes. Ran 3 red lights. The business district. New developments. Glass buildings I didn't recognize. Money everywhere. "There," my wife said, pointing across the street. I saw him. Standing in front of a luxury building. Tailored charcoal suit. Different haircut. Confident posture. He looked successful. Polished. Nothing like the broken man who'd left our house 3 years ago. Zia stood beside him. 9 years old now. Healthy. Well-dressed. Her hand in his. "Armin." My wife screamed, already running across the street. I followed. Ferris behind us. We reached them. Stood right there, maybe 3 feet away. Armin didn't move. Didn't step back. Didn't step forward. Just looked at us. My wife was crying, words tumbling out. "Baby, please. Please talk to us. We're so sorry. We didn't know, we made a mistake. We should have supported you. We should have, please, Armin. Please say something." Nothing. His eyes moved from her to me. Empty. Like looking at strangers. "Son," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "This has gone far enough. Whatever you think we did to you, we can fix this. We're family. Family works through things. Just talk to us." He glanced at his watch. Then back at us. Expression unchanged. Ferris stepped forward. "Brother. I'm sorry. God, I'm so sorry. I know what I did was unforgivable. I've lost everything. I deserve it, I know I deserve it. But please. Please say something. Anything." Armin looked at Ferris. No anger. No hatred. Just assessment. Like looking at someone he used to know. Someone who didn't matter anymore. Then he looked away. "Armin, please." My wife reached for his arm. He took 1 step back. Smooth. Not aggressive. Just maintaining distance. The same way you'd step back from a stranger getting too close. "We know what you did," I said, voice cracking. "Xavier, we know it's you. We know you've been destroying us. And I understand why you're angry. But this needs to stop. We're your parents. He's your brother. We made mistakes, but this has to end." Silence. Zia stood beside him, looking away from us. Didn't acknowledge us at all. Her hand still in his. Neither of them spoke. My wife was sobbing now. "Please, baby. Please. We love you. We've always loved you. We didn't know how to handle it. We were wrong. We were so wrong. Please give us a chance to make this right." Armin checked his watch again. Looked down at Zia. She glanced up at him. Some silent communication between them. He looked back at us one final time. Those eyes. There was nothing there. No rage. No pain. No recognition of us as his family. Just cold calculation. Complete emotional absence. We weren't his parents anymore. We were just people. Obstacles he'd already moved past. Then he turned. Started walking away, Zia beside him. "Armin." My wife screamed. "Armin, please. Don't do this. Please." He didn't pause. Didn't hesitate. Didn't look back. "Son. We're your family," I shouted. Nothing. They walked around the corner. Disappeared. My wife collapsed against me, still crying. Ferris stood frozen, staring at where they'd been. I looked at the building they'd been standing in front of. Modern. Expensive. A small plaque near the entrance, Xavier Holdings, corporate offices. His building. He'd brought his daughter to show her his empire. And he'd stood there, right in front of us, and let us see what we'd lost. Then left. Without a single word. We stood on that sidewalk for I don't know how long. My wife crying. Ferris silent. Me trying to process what had just happened. He hadn't come back to forgive us. He hadn't come back to reconcile. He came back so we could see what we lost. And then he left. Again. That night, I couldn't sleep. None of us could. The encounter played on loop. His empty eyes. His silence. The way he looked at us like we were nothing. I got up at 3 a.m. Started digging deeper. If Armin wasn't going to tell us what he'd done, I'd figure it out myself. I spent the next 2 weeks obsessed. Hired investigators with money we didn't have. Called in favors from old business contacts. Traced every connection, every acquisition, every move Xavier Holdings had made. The picture that emerged was terrifying in its precision. He'd started the same week he left us. Used his severance, around $200,000, to acquire a small struggling supplier. Legitimate business deal. Nothing suspicious. Then he worked. Built that company up over 6 months. Sold it for profit. Used that money to acquire another company. Then another. Each acquisition positioned him to control something critical. A supplier here. A logistics company there. A legal firm. A debt portfolio company. By the end of the first year, he had leverage over dozens of businesses. Including Ferris's suppliers. Including the firm that sued Ferris. Including the company that handled city permits for my business. Including the bank that held our mortgage. The investigator showed me the documentation. Everything he did was legal. Technically. Just aggressive business competition. He identified weaknesses and exploited them. Used legitimate legal channels. Public records for the information warfare against Win, all true documents, just strategically released. How did he know all this? I asked. He studied you. All of you. Spent months gathering intelligence before making a single move. By the time he started, he knew exactly where to apply pressure. Ferris's business collapsed because Armin controlled his suppliers and his clients. Win's reputation was destroyed because Armin leaked her real mistakes, things she thought were buried. My business failed because Armin owned the companies that handled permits and inspections. Our mortgage got called because Armin bought the debt 2 years ago and waited. Every single loss traced back to him. Not luck. Not coincidence. Strategy. I found out about Win through her sister. Different state. Working retail under her maiden name. She'd tried to sue Armin once, hired a lawyer, gathered evidence. The lawyer quit after 1 week. Told her everything Armin did was legal. You have no case. He used market forces and public information. You can't sue someone for outcompeting you. She gave up. Disappeared. Ferris came to me 3 weeks after the encounter. I'm leaving, he said. Where? Don't know. Somewhere else. Can't stay here. Can't keep seeing the places where everything fell apart. He looked at me. Really looked at me. I didn't just betray him once, Dad. I did it every day for 6 months. In his home. In his bed. With his wife. And you told him to swallow it. To be the bigger person. We chose wrong. We deserved every second of this. He left the next morning. Haven't heard from him since. My wife's health stabilized once she stopped fighting reality. He's gone, she said one night. Really gone. We lost him that night we told him to forgive. We just didn't know it yet. We downsized to a smaller apartment. Sold what little we had left. Started over with nothing. 6 months after the encounter, I saw a news article. Xavier Holdings had donated $500,000 to a children's literacy foundation. The photo showed Armin, using his real name now, no longer hiding, presenting an oversized check. Zia beside him, both smiling. Real smiles. They looked happy. He'd built something bigger than revenge. He'd built a life. A successful one. Without us. I printed the photo. Kept it. Sometimes I look at it and try to remember the son we raised. But that person doesn't exist anymore. We told him to be a man. To forgive. To move past it. He did something smarter. He eliminated us from his equation entirely. People ask sometimes what happened to our family. I tell them the truth. We had a son who was betrayed by everyone he trusted. His wife. His brother. His parents. We told him to accept it. To be the bigger person. To think of the family. He did think of family. His daughter. Himself. And he rebuilt. We thought his silence that night meant he was broken. We were wrong. It meant he'd already made his decision. He didn't leave to heal. He didn't leave to hide. He left to win. And God help us, he did. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.